Dumelang. Another day, another blessing. Once again, ke moroga wa Rabodikgelo ke go tlisetsa lentswe le exactly jaaka Lentswe. Yeah, first and foremost, thank you for everybody who's gotten their t-shirts, who's gotten the hoodies. Thank you for living Lentswe. Thank you for supporting the brand. Thank you for walking this journey with me, and I hope wherever you are, you're learning to start hearing Lentswe for yourself. Because a lot of people are they often ask me what this channel is about. It's more of a motivational and spiritual channel where I'm just sharing my experiences of hearing Lentswe and validating Lentswe through the word. And basically, the whole point of this channel is to also encourage you to start learning and living the word and allowing God to speak to you directly and validating what He's saying to you through His word. Just to get into this week. So, given what has happened this past week and with what's going on in our country, I asked myself to say, what's driving people to act like this? What's driving people to loot and steal and destroy property and just cause a lot of damage to infrastructure, basically? And the word that came to mind and Lentswe that I heard was, they are unable to sleep through the storm. And I was like, what does that mean? And then it's as obviously as I was unpacking it, basically I came to understand that because people are feeling and reacting to their flesh, they're being controlled by their flesh are meaning hunger. Given that COVID has caused a lot of job losses, COVID has actually caused a lot of unemployment and just financial damage all around to a lot of people, and a lot of people are hungry out there. And a person can't think straight on an empty stomach. I'm not saying this to justify what's been going on in the country, but what I'm saying is people can't think on empty stomachs. But what I was being shown there is to say that people are leaning towards the flesh. They're being allowed to be controlled by their flesh. They're being allowed to be moved by what their flesh wants, by what their flesh desires. So we're being moved by, be it hunger, be it greed, be it corruption, everything that has to do with the flesh, we're being moved by that flesh. And we're responding according to the flesh. That's why we're unable to sleep through the storm, because we do not have spiritual peace. We don't have spiritual peace. We are being led by our flesh because our spirit is not nourished enough. Our spirit is not stronger than our flesh. That's why we are reactive and emotive, basically. We are being triggered easily by our emotions. We are being triggered by our stomachs. We are being triggered by our situations. And for those of you who are confused by sleeping through the storm, if you understood that Jesus, when he was with his disciples, he was on the boat, he was sleeping while they were panicking to say, we're going to sink, there's a storm and this boat is going to sink. He was sleeping. Not because he couldn't hear the storm, but because he had a deeper understanding spiritually to know that spiritual realms have the power to influence the physical realm. What do I mean by that? Your ability to stay in tune with your spirit and to pray and to meditate and focus on the answers and the promises of God towards you and your life will actually have more power over what you're seeing and what you're feeling currently in that current situation you're facing right now. So I guess today's Lentswe was more of a reminder to say, this week, let's start learning to sleep through the storm. Let's learn to not be led by our flesh, by what we feel, what we see, and what we touch, and everything that has to do with the flesh. Let's not be moved by that. Rather, be moved with the Spirit. Be moved in alignment with spiritual things. Be moved according to how you're praying, according to your prayer focuses. Whatever you're meditating on, whatever you're calling on God to do for your life, focus on that and do not be moved. Don't be moved by what you're seeing. We're panicking because we are led by our flesh. So let's pray for our country. Let's pray for our fellow man. And let's actually be that light and beacon to show that we do not need to be moved by our flesh, but we move in the Spirit. Another day, another blessing. Keep safe.